I lie down on the tatami and sigh. Toji ended up taking Kazuna back to her home in Kanda.
I'll be back. I don't mind being client and detective until we find my sister.
She flashed me a sad smile. God damn it all. Hurting her was not part of the plan. All I wanted to do was distance Kazuna from all the dangers surrounding me. Man, things always turn out like this. I keep saying the wrong things. I hurt people, misunderstandings happen, and I end up all by myself in the end. It's happened to me so many times before. My cheek still stings where Kazuna struck me. I'd fallen asleep at some point without realizing it. I wonder how much time's passed, as it's already dark inside my room. Somebody's covered me with a futon. I can feel a soft, warm pillow underneath my face. Is that you, Toji? It's pretty considerate of her to cover me up and all.
Huh? Oh, you're awake, Shugo?
I feel her gently stroking my hair. Huh? I look up and say, Toji?
Yeah. You don't need to move. Just relax.
She gently pushes me back down as I try to get up.
Yeah. Just like that.
Toji tenderly runs her hand over my hair. How's Kazuna doing?
She's a bit depressed, but I'm sure she'll be back to her normal, cheerful self in no time. That's just the type of person she is.
Toji says hesitantly.
You sure you want to leave things like this?
What do you mean?
You know what I mean. With Kazuna.
Yeah, things are fine like this, at least until this case is closed. Silence. As I lie there in Toji's lap, I can feel her warmth being transmitted through my cheek. It feels strangely calming.
Did you make love to her?
Yeah.
I see.
She falls silent once again. Her hand continues to gently stroke my head. I have no idea how long I've lain here on Toji's lap. She suddenly says,
Shugo, if you need some consoling, you can have sex with me.
What?
Well, I thought it might cheer you up a bit. I've heard that having sex can help men pull themselves together.
You're going to with me? I hadn't expected this at all.
Don't worry about me. It's not as though I don't have any experience comforting men like this. Of course, if you don't want me, then I have no choice in the matter.
Toji. She stares down at me, unflinching. What should I do? I can't betray Kazuna. Thanks for the offer, but thanks is about as far as I'm willing to go. That ends up being my reply after a few moments of indecision. I just can't bring myself to see Toji in that way, seeing as how we've been friends for such a long time.
I see.
After hearing me out, Toji nods nonchalantly, without a trace of relief or despair. With the poker face she always has on, I can't tell at all what feelings are running through her mind.
A single shadowy figure makes its way across the tatami mats inside the dim candlelight chamber. Normally, this room is closed off by bamboo screens. It's a place other people cannot see into. It's the Holy Prophet's private chamber. Only their leader may enter this place. However, a single woman furtively sneaks inside. She's confirmed that the leader isn't around, but she must not let her guard down. There are other members of the church roaming about. The best plan of action is to just find what she's looking for and scram. She glances over at a shelf in the corner of the room. There are documents piled up neatly on top. The woman picks some up and takes a look. There's a members list, a ledger of alms donated to the church, and title deeds to donated tracts of land. They're all important materials to the church, and they aren't what she's looking for.
Where the hell could it be?
In her haste, she starts grumbling without realizing it. She endured the man's inhuman acts for long enough. No more. And most suspicious of all is what the leader's been doing. She really is. She shudders in horror. If she's on the right track, then it means that man is betraying her. And if that's the case, if she doesn't act, then her wishes will remain forever unfulfilled. At that moment, she hears a voice from behind.
What are you doing in the leader's room,
Her heart skips a beat. As she whips around in panic, something is jabbed into her shoulder. Her face is contorted by intense pain. Sticky fluid oozes out from between her fingers as she presses her hand to her right shoulder. Unable to endure the pain, she crumples to her knees, then topples backwards onto her posterior.
How many times have I told you? It's not good to be snooping around.
A cheerful voice rings throughout the cramped room.
I guess I'm kind of tired of having a puppet.
With a weapon clenched in his left fist, he advances slowly towards her.
Just behave yourself and disappear like a good little girl.
The next morning, Toji's already gone by the time I wake up. I stretch and wiggle out of the futon. Now that I'm all alone once again, I think back on what took place yesterday.
But why?
I can still vividly recall Kazuna's pained expression when I turned her down. I wonder if this was really the right choice. I shake my head frantically to clear away the pangs of regret. No, I made the right choice. I've no time for doubts now. I've got to keep moving forward for Toji's sake as well, since she tried so hard to cheer me up. I look around to find some rice balls and miso soup on the table. Toji probably prepared it all while I was still slumbering away. I suppose this is for the best. After what happened last night, I honestly have no idea how I should act around Toji. The feeling of awkwardness is multiplied twofold since we've been friends for so long. Damn, I'm such a disgrace. I pick up one of Toji's rice balls. It's a bit oddly shaped, but it tastes just fine. Something seems off about the city today. That's... I've been seeing men wearing Senri's hooded overcoat in greater numbers around town. They whisper to each other and then scatter off in different directions. It looks like they're panicking about something. I wonder what's going on. I hurry onwards, gripped by an unknown feeling of anxiety. It looks like today's strangeness has even found its way to Senri headquarters. Entry forbidden? A cultist stops me at the entrance. But I came here to see if I could get the leader to recognize me as one of the faithful. I'd like to enter immediately and start my religious training.
Enough! Off with you!
The man rudely interrupts me.
None of the people from our main office are in today. There's nobody here to deal with laity like you.
They're out? Has something happened within the church?
It's nothing for a person like yourself to be concerned over. Get out of here. Come back another day for your religious training.
Thus, I'm promptly booted out of Senri headquarters. The snow gets heavier in the afternoon. The shadowy forms of Senri followers move around stealthily with the gray backdrop of falling snow. I hear them whispering to each other as I push through the crowd in front of the station.
Have we found her yet?
No, not yet.
Who are they looking for? I've heard tales of many people who fled because the indoctrination for Senri was too harsh. It might very well be the reason their members are in a panic at the moment. Now what? It's probably best if I wait for this trouble to die down before continuing my investigation into Senri. Using this opportunity to infiltrate Senri headquarters crosses my mind, but I want to refrain from doing anything reckless while it's still light out. Guess I've got no choice but to head back for now. I sigh and turn back. To get back to my new place in Aoimachi, I take some streets that I normally don't pass through. I just happen to walk into this alley by sheer coincidence. The entire alleyway is filled with the sour stench of rotting garbage. There's a slight dusting of snow coming down between the buildings. After walking a short while, I get closer to my destination. All I need to do now is figure out which way to go. You can save a lot of time by doing this. It's better than taking the main roads. My sense of direction is pretty damn good, if I do say so myself. Running around everywhere during my time as a cop honed it quite well. However, I'm practically home, but as I turn the corner, I catch sight of something. It makes me gasp. Sitting there in the alley is one of the leaders of Senri, Shigasa Tokiko. She lifts her face up. Her movements are sluggish. She croaks out through pale lips.
Takashiro Shugo.
Tokiko's eyes lack focus, and the skin on her face is so pallid it's practically transparent. Is this who the Senri cultists are searching for? But at any rate... Hey, you. She doesn't look so good. Is something wrong with her? And the moment I step closer to ask her a question... Whoa! She crumples listlessly onto the snow. Hey, what's wrong? I rush over and prop up Tokiko's slender body. That's when I feel a strange sensation. Huh? My right hand, which I'm using to support her, feels wet. This is blood. My hand is practically soaked with her blood. Okay, this should do it. I nod, satisfied with my work, as I finish winding the bandages tightly around her bare back. Tokiko grimaces slightly before pulling her clothes back into place. She leans back against the wall and breathes a deep sigh. The color's gradually returning to her face. She's probably relieved to be in such a warm room. So, how long do you plan on keeping silent? Not only am I going out of my way to hide you in here, but I treated your wounds as well. Don't you think it's fair to at least tell me why they're chasing you? Tokiko is unresponsive. She just keeps staring down at her feet. Come on. Then she suddenly says,
I'm grateful that you helped me. However, I'd appreciate it if you didn't pry anymore. I can't do anything to thank you at the moment, but you can use my body in whatever way you desire, if that is your wish.
"What?" I'm rendered speechless. All I can do is stare dumbly at her face.
How does that sound?
Her deep, fathomless eyes stare at me, awaiting my reply. I'll pass. It's certainly an attractive proposal, but I'm not exactly keen on forcing an injured person to do something like that.
I see.
She nods, apparently not troubled in the slightest. Tokiko then turns her eyes away from me and falls silent, as though she's completely lost interest. She leans back against the wall and closes her eyes in meditation. Sheesh. Why do things like this happen to me? After she had collapsed in the alley, not only is her shoulder injured, but she's pretty emaciated as well. I was shocked by how light she was after supporting her upright. She was practically an empty shell. Tokiko's face was pale. There was large droplets of sweat running down her brow. Her eyes were shut, and she was taking short, shallow breaths. I couldn't just leave her there. "We'd better get you to a doctor for now." As I was about to get her to her feet, she said,
What? Wait!
"Huh?" She opened her eyes halfway and tugged on my sleeve.
I can't be seen by people.
"What?" I stared down into her pallid face. "Are you being chased by Senri?" An image of the Senri cultist I spotted this afternoon appeared in my head. She remained silent. "You can't be serious." Even though we were in an alley with no other people, the main roads were just a stone's throw away. There was a good chance she'd be spotted by the Senri members if she lingered there any longer. My mind raced as I stared into her face, which was contorted with pain. It's not like I had any obligations to listen to her request, but it could be a good chance for me to learn more about the inner workings of Senri. If I played my cards right, I might be able to get some information about Yura and her time in Senri. Oh well, I might as well have her be in my debt. Guess I have no choice. I threw my arm around her shoulders and got her to her feet. Let's head back to my place for now. If we keep going through these back streets, nobody should see us. However, my plan has been thwarted. Shigasa Tokiko has flatly refused to answer any of my questions. Well, it's not like I want to force an injured person to do anything, so there's nothing I can really do. I look up at the lump lying there in the corner of my dimly lit room. Tokiko's sound asleep, wrapped up in the futon I laid out for her. It looks like her condition stabilized somewhat. Fortunately, they didn't hit any of her vitals. Though she lost a lot of blood, the wound wasn't as deep as I expected it to be. Well, me treating her was all possible thanks to the basic first aid training that was pounded into our brains during my time with the police. But there's something that's been eating away at me. I noticed a purple bruise on the inside of Tokiko's left elbow when I was treating her. Or rather, a congestion of blood. Add to that her strangely emaciated thin body. Could she possibly have been doing... Nah. I push aside the doubts welling up inside my chest. She's sleeping quietly. Her current condition is stable. Let's hope that things stay this way. I close my eyes and space out, deep in thought. Fortunately, the night passes by uneventfully. Shigasa Tokiko is still slumbering away peacefully under a futon. She does look really worn out, but I don't see any trace of pain in her features. I sit up inside my futon and breathe a sigh of relief. It appears the fears I had were unfounded. And shortly before noon... Toji comes face to face with Shigasa Tokiko when she arrives at my place to report the results of her investigation into Senri. Tokiko gets out of her futon and stares at Toji, her face a blank slate. She looks a whole lot better after getting a good night's sleep. Toji and Tokiko stare at each other down for a while. Then Toji turns to me and says,
Hey, Shugo. Why is she here, of all places? What the hell have you been up to while I've been away?
Toji seems offended for some reason. Just saving someone's life?
What?
Toji furrows her brow in suspicion. I found her half dead in the snow yesterday. If you take a good look, you'll see that she's not only hurt, but emaciated as well. My conscience would never let me just leave her there to die.
So you just brought her into your room?
It's for her protection. You make it sound like I had some kind of ulterior motive or something.
Oh, so you didn't? Can you swear to me you seriously didn't?
What's with you? Why are you all pissed?
I've every right to be. I didn't get you this room so that you could do stuff like this.
I feel like she's blaming me for something I don't deserve, but getting angry with Toji over this will make things unnecessarily complicated. I'll try explaining things to her seriously. Like I said, all I did was treat her wounds and let her rest here, isn't that right? I looked to Shigasa Tokiko for agreement.
Who knows? I was unconscious the entire night, so...
Oh, come on! At least deny that I did anything!
Shugo.
I can feel Toji's skepticism growing more intense. Come on, think about it carefully. I'm not so immature that I'd do something to an injured person.
Oh, she's injured. Right.
Toji nods as though she finally begins to understand. Oh, right. In fact, this is heavily related to the matter I asked you to look into.
Wanna fill me in on the details then?
Sure. I proceed to tell Toji about everything that happened yesterday evening. I start off with the unrest among the Senri followers. Then my story shifts to how I found Shigasa Tokiko wounded and collapsed in an alley in the slums, and how she was extremely frightened of other people catching sight of her. Tokiko has been staring out the window the entire time, wholly indifferent to our conversation.
I see. I did hear that the cultists were searching for something.
Well, turns out that something is her.
It all makes sense now.
Toji falls silent after that. She stares at Tokiko's face, deep in thought. Tokiko just keeps staring out the window, completely ignoring us.
Shugo.
Toji suddenly says my name quietly.
Were you able to get anything out of her?
Nope, she won't talk to me about anything important.
So you're just waiting around for her to speak up?
I guess so.
If you don't want to do it, then how about letting me interrogate her?
Her eyes narrow questioningly. Toji's basically implying that she'll torture Tokiko, or do whatever it takes to get the information out of her. I shake my head. No, let's not do that. I've never liked forcing things out of people. I suddenly recall all the coercive measures Yaginuma employed against me in that cell. I quit the police force because I didn't want to turn into a cruel monster like him. I don't want to crush people's minds like that, even if it might be necessary.
You're too soft.
Toji breathes in an exasperated sigh. Tokiko, on the other hand, just keeps staring out the window, as though she hasn't heard a single word. Since Tokiko's giving us the silent treatment, there's no reason to talk about Senri in front of her. Toji proposes that we make our way to Milk Hall instead. She has one of her underlings stand guard while Tokiko remains in the room by herself. Since Tokiko just passed out from exhaustion again, there shouldn't be any pressing worries for the present.
But things will get awkward if Kazuna decides to drop by while we're away.
Well, I think things will be fine. Toji looks rather concerned, so I flash her a smile. Kazuna's pretty busy with her acting and all. Besides, I was pretty harsh with her the other day. Toji sighs, her features forming a complicated expression.
Shugo, don't push yourself too hard, okay?
What are you talking about? I'm not. At any rate, let's get down to business. You got some new information, right?
Yeah.
Toji opens up the briefcase she has with her and pulls out a thick envelope.
It's Senri's member list. We got it from a former Senri staff member who withdrew from the organization.
Wow. I accept the envelope from her and riffle through the contents.
Even so, those records are over 6 months old. I'm not sure how useful they'll be. At any rate, I didn't see the name Hio or the girl you're looking for, Kohzuki Yura, in those documents.
I see. I realize that I sound pretty disappointed. Does that mean all this stuff is useless?
However, it doesn't mean that we didn't learn anything at all.
Toji pulls out a single sheet of paper from within the stack and presents it to me.
Does this name look familiar?
I stare at Toji's face in shock. Fukamizu Kaoru?
That's right. The criminal behind those bizarre serial murders, Fukamizu Kaoru, was actually a member of the Senri faith.
But Toji cuts me off as I'm about to say, never heard any mention of that.
Fukamizu was crafty enough to hide it from everyone. Her occupation wasn't one where she would be able to freely change faiths.
As a general rule, Kaiō Academy's teachers have to be devout Catholics. Not only that, but she was a sister of the faith as well. That's how she conducted herself on the outside, despite what she actually believed. But to think that she was actually a member of Senri... that means there's something else lurking behind this supposedly solved case.